Hello, life path number 3s. How are you guys doing? Hope you are doing fabulous. I am starting this series for the life path numbers. It's something I've wanted to do for a while. And I've been enjoying these readings very much. I am not a life path 3, so this is just totally for you guys. And let's get started. Oh, that card wants to pop out. This is the Golden Botticelli deck. We're just going to do a dive into your life path, see what it's all about. It's been kind of pointing out this crystal in particular, these crystals to me. This is Danburite. It allows you to get in touch with your higher self. And of course, we have this beautiful amethyst here for us. All right, life path number 3. Let's see what this card wants to start out by saying to you. Five of Pentacles. Ooh, it said, why are you shutting yourself out? Why are you shutting yourself out? I see that both as a question from Spirit to you. And I see that as a question from other people, as in, why are you always outside? Like, why are you always outdoors? I do get the sense that you really love the outdoors. It goes all the way up to the top of this card, very much leaving just this little bit of sky here. It's like you love being nestled and surrounded by the outdoors, life path number 3. And for you, something just came through and said it's just not about the money for you. You're just not really driven by money in this lifetime. And I just kind of heard a laugh, like someone's like, what? It's just saying that ultimately your motives in life are not driven by money. It's not that you don't appreciate money and you don't like money. You're just not driven by it. That's not your goal. You'd much rather spend time with these flowers, checking out all this other stuff, enjoying nature and peaceful things, and kind of like science, it just said. It's not so much about money for you. So, but what I am getting though is that you might financially struggle in this lifetime. And if you're okay with that, it's not so much about the struggle part. It's just, at this point in the reading, it's just saying like you might need to face the reality that income and money might be one of those things that isn't your motivator, isn't a goal for you to achieve in life, like having a lot of money. And it is an area where you might struggle along the path. But there's very much this contentment with everything else in this card. So we like that to an extent. To an extent. You like that to an extent. This one right here, because it's just like stuck. Ooh. We got a 5. It wants me to slide this over. Now you got a 5 of Wands. This card, it usually is about the word synthesis, because this person is kind of like taking all these ingredients and putting them together. But it was saying like you might not really know exactly what you want to do in life because you've got a few different passions. You are inwardly competing with yourself in this life path. Some of it might have to do with some money. It's like you might, okay, it's talking about like your abundance. One of the things that you're really working through in this life path number 3 is about your passions versus your abundance. And it said, why is it versus? It shouldn't be versus each other. And that's where you have that 5 of Wands, which can sometimes be a bit of a competitive headbutting energy. And that's where it's saying like your inward self kind of butts up against itself at times, because you have competing passions versus competing like needs and wants. I like art, and I like doing tattoos, and I like doing this, and I like doing that, and I like doing this, but I also need to make money. So maybe I work in a kitchen, which means I don't have a lot of time for all of my pastimes, which means then I don't want to work as much because I do cherish those pastimes more than I cherish the money necessarily. It's just saying, like, there's pros and cons to both sides of this feeling, both sides of this equation. It's good to not be driven by money in this lifetime. It's good to appreciate all those other things in life because they are important. But then there's this reality, right? Of where, like, you got to work to live and make money. It takes away from your passion. So ultimately there's this hard change, hard shift inside of you at times that butts up against itself because you just aren't always fully happy because you either have to work to make the money that you need, or if you're actually getting to enjoy the pastimes, then you don't have the money you need to get by. There's a struggle point right there. A 5-5 is always an area of big change. So this is going to be a theme throughout your life. What really needs to happen is we need to shift your abundance to match your passions and things. And it's not about just turning all your hobbies into a career path. It's about, again, that synthesis of your needs and your wants. How can you bring those together to achieve a common goal? And that's where I'm going to start with this card. The moon. You have a lot of fear within you surrounding this general energy. You might have a fear of abundance of money. You might have a fear of having like one solid career because you feel like that's going to be a boring path for you. So you keep yourself open to a lot of options. You need to go within and explore your inner self to figure out what exactly is the root of your abundance blockages and the blockages of your will, of your passions, of getting some sort of concrete path. Well, the life path of 3, it's not that you have to have just one single thing that you do in life, but there's definitely some internal friction about how do I, balance all of this internally and externally in the world. And that's where it's very much about your inner self, your spirit, that third area, right? That third area is within yourself. What is it that you truly think about money? What are your true inner thoughts about abundance and money? What are your true inner thoughts about one steady passion, one steady career, or at least 2 steady options, 2 steady careers, or, explore this. And if you don't know where to start, maybe you need to pay attention to your dreams, your subconscious. Like, you've got to start kind of just feeling out what is it you feel and think about those energies. Strength. I love that card. So beautiful. Got the strength card here. Got an Ace of Swords over here. Okay. Part of you has been very much raised to, number one, again, about all that nature with the animals and the trees and the flowers in her hand. You're very much about this, like, holistic, natural, green way of life. You're very much about moderation. You're very much about that balance. What it means, like, you're not a greedy person, life path 3. You're not a greedy person whatsoever. You have been raised through tough times. You have learned that inner strength of how to get by, of how to not crave and be greedy for all these resources and all these things in life. In fact, it made you very graceful. Like, that's what I mean. Like, your energy is very graceful. There's nothing here that's like, oh, I need money, or oh, I need to do all this. Like, there's nothing there with that. You've just known what some tough times can be like. It has given you a lot of grace, and you have been able to find pleasure in all these other things besides money and a steady career path. That just wasn't your life starting out. That just wasn't your life starting out. And in fact, you learned how to tame that hunger and that kind of ravenousness for all of these things, where you can look at other people and see maybe some greed and some things. Like, you've learned to tame that a long time ago. But because of that, you have also created this inner friction within yourself, because I think that what you secretly crave is this very straight, decisive, clear, fruitful path. There's fruit back here behind that sword. And that's what I mean. It's like, you want to be fruitful. These, thank you, Spirit. It's comparing like these little bitty berries on the table to these big oranges in this card, and just saying how, like, you're used to these meager pickings. You would really love to have something that's bountiful and plentiful in life. With this Ace of Swords, I would say that means you need to cut down some of these things that you're doing in life. Now, it's not that you gotta get rid of passions or hobbies. It's that you need to devote yourself to one clear path at a time. You can always come back and use those multiple skills and passions that you have. But in order to get to this more bountiful, fruitful path, you've got to cut back. It's talking about it like it's in pruning shears. Like, if you want your roses to grow, you have to prune those bushes back. If you want fruit trees to have big, juicy fruit, you got to fertilize the soil. You got to prune things back at a certain time. You got to make it to where your path grows in the right way. And that's something it wants to say. Instead of butting up against each other, you've got to, it's kind of given to me like gardening and bonsai trees and stuff. It's or like taming a lion, training an animal. It's like you have to train your life path to grow in the way you want to go. And for some things, that means cutting it off completely. Which, if there's like an internal fear, right, we need to clear that path, get rid of that fear. Bye. You need to make a clear decision about what path you do want to pursue, at least at this time. And that's where it's giving it to me more as like one at a time, because there's more trees back here, just like there's more wands back here. It's more about like, you just need to take some things one at a time instead of trying to do all these different things at once. You're used to having maybe multiple streams of income or multiple passions to keep yourself occupied and busy. It hasn't allowed you to have that focus that you need to get to this fruitful, abundant life path. But it is here in the cards, right? It's here in the cards. The Ace of Swords is a powerful force in love and hate, as it says. And in this card, it can also be a little bit about like stroking your ego and stuff like that. I think you actually need to boost your ego, life path 3, just a little bit. You need to be a little more forceful and clear in what you want. Yes, I am good at this. This is what I want to pursue. Boom, do it, right? That kind of boost, confidence boost. Ooh, my left foot just got hot too. Yeah, it's like, get going, get moving, get working on that. I want this one here. Kind of flipped at me, so I'm just gonna put that one right there. And I think that might be it. Eight of Cups. Yeah. He is very much similar to this Five of Wands in that he's down here like with all these cups, kind of reading a book, mixing some things, thinking. He's a little more thoughtful. A traditional Eight of Cups means you had to pretty much walk away from something to go find the other two cups to complete the set. So there can be this leaving energy. You might have left, you know, whatever these situations were that taught you all of this strength in your younger years. You might have, you know, figured out there's some things I have to leave, and I'm going to have to get away from those things in life in order to pursue my own path, which might have put you here. And you're like, you know what, I love nature and I love all these things. I'm not so much worried about the money right now. I'd rather just enjoy my life because I'm out on my own or what have you. But there's some fears and something here, the unknown, that kind of stepped in the way. And you've gone to, you know, having to do several different things to get by, to continue. You're very much looking forward to when you can clear and cut some things, when you can get to this fruitful, bountiful life. And that's where you got to do some inner work first. You got to do some inner work first to figure out the tension right here. What's on this side though? That Two of Swords. There's some competitiveness. That's what I'm saying. There is some inner competitiveness with yourself. There is something within here that is you are mentally fighting yourself about a decision. You're just grating against yourself on the inside. It said that something's going to come out on top, something's going to win. And that's where it's like, well, why do I have to give up some of these things? Why do I have to fight myself to get to this point? The other description of this card is that something that was given is returned. And the way it's kind of giving that to me too is like, if you let something go for now from your life, if you know, whether it's a person or a pastime or a job or something like that, if you let something go for now, it will return. And again, with these trees back here, there's not really any fruit. That's where it's like, you've got to cut some things back in your life for these other things to bear fruit for you. It said, something just said, slow down. Like, you've got to slow down in life. Life path number 3. You've got to slow it down a bit so that you can figure out what exactly it is you need to do. Thank you, Spirit. It said that's the purpose of your life path, or one of them, right? Is learning how to prune and train yourself through this inner work so that you become more fruitful and bountiful. You are learning how to create your own life in this alchemist-like way. And that's where you are required to prune and trim things back as you go through this life path so that you just become more fruitful and abundant. And that's what it's really given to me. You were given strength at the early years of your life, and you were given this tension and inner struggle so that you can learn how to inwardly master yourself and train yourself and prune yourself and create the life that you want. And that is the gift for you. Life path 3 is that you get to shape your own life, and it's a destiny. You get to shape your own destiny, but it does require you to do some trimming. I want one last card. Final message overall. Temperance. What did I say? That's what I'm saying. Like, trimming back. Yeah, everything in moderation. You have learned that in life. You are going to master that lesson in this life. It's just all the lessons of moderation and balance. That's what leads to a fruitful life, peaceful life, happy life. You got a little bit of everything that you need. And if not, there's always more where that came from. Especially when you conserve and just take everything in moderation. You're going to be able to shape your life exactly how you want, especially if you follow that energy of temperance, shaping it in moderation. let some things go from within you. Sort yourself out inwardly. Let go of some of these abundance fears. But at the same time, just know that the whole purpose is you are mastering the energy of temperance in this lifetime. And you're mastering the energy of how do I create the fruitful, abundant life that I want. And that's what I got for you, Life Path 3. Let me know how it resonates for you guys. Please like, share, comment, subscribe as you see fit. I will see you on the next batch of readings. Thank you so much. Bye.